Ladies, whether you're sitting back relaxing, going for a walk, enjoying a coffee, or a nice quiet drink, it's time to sit back and relax and listen to Dear Andrea.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome back. This is the second episode of Dear Andrea, and it is absolutely fabulous to have you listening in for this week. A few little different bits and pieces we're doing, and having a chat to a few more girls about getting, well, a bit of interviews about their lives. And it's amazing how excited many women are about this, letting everything out, knowing that it is in a non-judgment world in this space. And it shouldn't be anyway. I always have the fact of saying, look, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? And that's the thing that people need to look at. It seems as though the old Mrs. Jessup days needs to go away. It's going to be a big show. Stay tuned. And we'll be also having a couple of little bits and pieces as well. And some little bits of news of the world.
Yes! Oh! Yes! Yes! Yes!
The following segment on Dear Andrea may contain things of a sexual nature.
Oh, God. Oh.
Please be advised.
I'll have what she's having.
Well, not so much naughty little bits and pieces, but I was advised actually the last sort of couple of weeks that schools, the high schools, my son is in high school, and was advised that they are, well, they're going through all the bits and pieces of the birds and the bees. And look, it's fantastic that, you know, people are being taught all the bits and pieces about how things happen and all that sort of stuff. And it was point of interest that the book and the movie that they are actually watching is Where Did I Come From?, which originally came out in 1973. And you have to wonder, like, is the relevance of that today, you know, from what it was even sort of back then? And looking at things that maybe should be taught for sex education for schools. I was actually reminded him back in the 1980s, back in Western Victoria, that they used to actually have the travelling show of Where Did I Come From? So what they normally have is it was the girls' nights first, mum and daughters, then they had the fathers and sons, and then the third night was actually all the family together. So my mum and two sisters, they went along to it for the first night, and then there was myself, my twin brother, and my younger brother. And any point that we were there with my father, any point that the word penis or vagina was actually used, or any connotation that was happening in the way that intercourse and the like, it was just non-stop giggling by my father. And at that sort of point, we were laughing because, well, Dad's laughing, so it's obviously funny. And that was, you know, for us, it was just a great night. It was lots and lots of laughter. And then on the third night came along, and they sort of went through all the bits and pieces again. And when the word penis or vagina was actually announced, we were wondering, looking at my brothers, and wondering, why isn't there any laughter? It was all sort of much more serious. To which we looked over to Dad, and we sort of seen this karate chop on his stomach, and for some reason he was unable to breathe of trying to laugh, and a karate chop from Mum, just to sort of say, shut the hell up. So, but it was just interesting, and I reminded my son of that, and I said, well, that was the one that Poppy kept laughing at all the time. And it sort of makes you think, well, what is the relevance of this form? Well, is it the education department hasn't sort of come up with anything new? Or, I mean, it's all the same old bits and pieces and everything, but relevancy in the 21st century. And you hear a lot of stories of young people that when it comes time to do sex education at school, a lot of them, I mean, it's sad as anything, is that just typing up a few naughty things on Google, and goodness me is what you get. And that the realistic point, I feel, of it, and talking to other women as well, is that it really doesn't show the true connection of one person to another, of consenting adults. And for my 20 cents put into the thing for helping out for the 21st century, maybe they need to have more about connection with the people, respect of the person as well. They're just a couple of thoughts I have. Look, if you've got anything that you're probably thinking about that, we can talk about it in the next few weeks as well. Certainly get in touch with me and hopefully getting things put onto one of the upload sites. I've been getting some help from She Podcasting, helping out a trans girl, myself, and it's been some great chances to chat to people and get some different ideas of people as well. We're still working on towards Aya and myself been having a bit of a chat and about looking at some different ideas for the show as well. We really want to get into these interviews with women and just look basic interviews, couple of minutes, talking about, say, the top 5 things of life.
Dear woman, sometimes you'll just be too much woman, too smart, too beautiful, too strong, too much of something that makes a man feel like less of a man, which will start making you feel like you have to be less of a woman. The biggest mistake you can make is removing jewels from your crown to make it easier for a man to carry. When this happens, I need you to understand. You do not need a smaller crown. You need a man with bigger hands.
Welcome back to Dear Andrea. I hope you're doing nice and well. This is the second podcast we're doing, and it's been interesting with this world of ours that has become so much political correctness. It's going absolutely crazy. A friend I was chatting to the other day had said some bits and pieces on a text, and then she was so worried that would I be upset by it? And I said, absolutely not. It all gets down to the context of things. But of absolute madness is that the BBC has decided, if you have seen it in the news, that they are removing the Don't Mention the War, the segment piece out of Faulty Towers. And look, I mean, the British made so much wonderful comedy and so much of it a little bit cheeky in ways. And well, even the discussion I had with a person this afternoon had sort of said, well, what are they going to now get rid of the Mrs. Bucket, the bouquet woman, you know, or other ones that maybe, I mean, goodness me, I mean, the last thing to do is, are you being served? Are they going to get rid of that? What about my pussy? Oh, you know, like, and the puff, oh my God. It's just craziness, the world. And, you know, with the talking a bit earlier about sex education, look, with that and Faulty Towers got me thinking of a song that I heard a little while ago, and it was a takeoff from Monty Python's The Penis Song. And this is the Fanny Song.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a little number I knocked up at the GP's. Isn't it awfully good to have a fanny? Isn't it frightfully nice to have a minge? It's swell to have a vulva, it's divine to own a clit, from the tiniest little beaver to the world's biggest slit. So 3 cheers for your clunge or beef curtains. Hooray! For your hairy wizard sleeve, your pink canoe, your flappy flange, your fairy or your quim. So don't forget your smear test, it could be life-saving. It's over in the time it takes to fix yourself a gin. So look after your flaps. Thank you very much.
Well, I've certainly hoped you've enjoyed the show. We'll catch you next time. Look, you can get in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram as well. We'll hope to have a bit more of a site set up in the next couple of weeks or so. Any other suggestions you may have for the show, love to hear from them, and love to get some more people involved with doing interviews as well. Young, old, women, trans, some men as well. Look, just looking at building the world a much happier place as much as we can do it. Have a fabulous remainder of the week, and I'll chat to you next time.
Oh my God, Dad, you're just such a boomer.